Hi everyone, my name is Jessa Astrid and you're watching my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to find the words on how to describe how I feel right now, but I'm kind of at a loss for them, so I'm just going to show you. Guys, it is a SpongeBob makeup collection. We have been getting so spoiled with the crazy collections lately and I am here for it and I want every single one. I grew up watching SpongeBob, so when I saw that they were launching this, I was screaming. I was so excited. I messaged them and I was like, are you sending the PR boxes out? And they're like, yes, they're on their way. And I was like, yes! It finally arrived and I get to open everything and give you my first impressions and just test everything out with you. So if you are interested in this collection and you want to see the packaging and formula of everything to see what products you want to get, or if you're interested in getting the entire PR box, which you can, it's like $50-something, then just keep watching. So first things first, I'm not wearing a wig today. It is starting to get to the length where I can actually do some things with it and it doesn't look like super weird. So I kind of like it, but it's new for me, it's different for me, so be nice, but let me know what you think. So as I probably already stated in the intro, and as you can tell by the title, that's kind of why you clicked on the video, Wet n Wild just launched a full collection with SpongeBob. It is so cute. I'm so excited. I've opened it up one time and kind of looked at a little bit of products, but I didn't want to play with anything yet because I want to give you my first impressions as usual. But that is what the PR package looks like. It is super heavy as well. I do not have any makeup on my face as usual. I just put a little bit of primer on because I want to go through my makeup routine and test out the products firsthand and give you my first impressions as we go along. So let's jump right in. So this is the little card in the PR box. It has all of the products, a little description, and the prices, which I really like so I don't have to go on the website. And this is the inside of the package. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. This just brings back so many good memories and it just brings me back to my childhood, which is one of my favorite things because it just gives me good warm feelings and makes me feel less old. So to start off my routine, the very first product in the collection is a priming spray. It looks like this. It is called the Best Friends Forever Hydrating and Brightening Primer Mist. And it has sparkles in it, so let's shake it up. So as you can tell by the name of the product, this is a spray that you spray on your face before you start your makeup routine. It's supposed to kind of just help prep the skin. It's like a liquid primer. But this one also has glitter or like a shiny mixture in it. So this is also going to give me a glowy look under my foundation. Look at how stunning that is. Okay, so for some reason these sprays are not on the little card that came in the package, so I looked it up really quick and it says that this is $9. Which is a pretty good price for a priming spray considering this is going to last you for so long. So it has like this pink pearlescent finish to it, as you can tell, and it is so stunning. It's like hypnotizing. So I'm going to mist my face with this to prep my skin. It's supposed to be hydrating and brightening, and it also has the finish that's going to give me a luminous glowy look. So the mister has a really good fine spray, which is really nice to have in an affordable spray. A lot of them kind of suck. But this one is pretty good. So let's prep the skin. Then I'm just patting that into my skin to make sure it's soaked up. Case gross, don't do that. So looking close up into the mirror, I can definitely tell the luminous finish on my skin. It doesn't look glittery or feel weird at all, so I really, really like it. And this packaging and the formula, just stunning. So $9, highly recommend, super cute. Moving on. So the next few products in the collection are so freaking cute and I was so excited when I saw these because can you tell what these are? They are freaking sponges. I mean, it would be kind of crazy to not have makeup sponges in this collection considering SpongeBob. But they actually launched 3 in each character and that is so cute. They have SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward and they each have little impressions of their faces on the sponges. So I'm going to open all of these up to give you a better look. So I grew up watching SpongeBob like my entire childhood and it was like my favorite animated cartoon. I loved it, so this is just bringing me like so much joy. So these are these sponges. This is SpongeBob. You can see his face on the front. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera. You should be able to. It has his little happy face on the front. This is Squidward. It also has his little frowny face on the front. And this is Patrick. This one is so cute because it has his little pants on. and it has his little goofy face on it, and it even has some flower print for his swim trunks. This is how big they are compared to my hands. So I'm gonna go dampen these in the sink and see how much they grow and see how soft they are, so I will be right back. So I just dampened all of the sponges and they definitely grew quite a lot. This is Patrick compared to my hand now. He stayed very pointy. They don't feel stiff or rough at all, so I think these are going to work pretty well. And I don't think it's gonna soak up too much foundation or anything, so I'm super excited to use these. I also like how each sponge has a very unique and different shape. They are not all at all similar, so every single type of makeup application that you need to do, you will definitely find one that works. I would use this a lot. I would use Patrick a lot. I would use Patrick a lot under my eyes because it has a very long, like, pointy area for my concealer. Spongebob I would use a lot for baking or for like large applications of my foundation because it has a very sharp edge for baking under contour. And Squidward has a very weird shape. He also has a flat end at the back of his head. So this one is really good for foundation application and blush and contour and stuff because it's very round. So all of the shapes I really, really like, and I'm probably going to use every single one for my makeup today. So let's move on to foundation. For foundation today, really quick, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It's my favorite foundation in the world. And I think I'm actually going to use Patrick for it. I'm going to like squeeze his little head and use his butt on my face. So I just spread a whole bunch of foundation on my face. And like I said, I'm going to use Patrick's butt on my face. And going to bounce this in. He is very soft and squishy, contrary to his butt in the show. And I like using his little head to grip. It is a little bit slippery and hard to hold, but this nice big round area is working good. It is soaking up quite a bit of foundation, but I feel like all sponges do that after using them for so long. And I don't notice this one using up any more foundation than any other sponge I use. So my foundation went on super nice and smooth. It doesn't look cakey at all. And it did blend it out pretty quickly because it is so large and very flat. But anyways, you gotta pinch this part. Works very nice. Okay, moving on. And now for my concealer, I'm gonna use his actual head this time. This has a very nice, like, slanted, slope, pointy, pointy shape. So I'm gonna try using this. Oh yeah. Kind of reminds me of like using a finger. I really, really like this for my under eye. It kind of reminds me like a finger except softer. And it's very pointy so I can be very precise. Just blend it out very nicely. So Patrick is definitely my favorite sponge so far. I'm gravitating more towards his type of shape than these other two. I really like him for under the eyes. Maybe I'll just use Patrick under my eyes and try Squidward for the rest of my face. Like, it blends it out so smooth. Now before my concealer dries, I'm gonna try using Squidward on the rest of my concealer. Oh, it dried. It dried. Little tip, if it dries, just add a little bit more and you'll be fine. I'm gonna use Squidward's chin on my chin. So my concealer actually dried. So since I have leftover foundation on here, that's like the best way to blend it out. So that's what I'm actually gonna do. Nothing against Squidward, but Patrick's coming to the rescue.
2 hours later.
So that was a little mistake on my end. I forgot that concealer dries really quickly and I had a fan on, so that just like caked to my face. So I used the foundation side on Patrick to rescue everything. So I didn't really get a chance to use Squidward, but I'm probably gonna try to use him for some contour and blush. So let's move on to that. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of cream contour. And now very quickly, I'm going in with Squidward. Okay, yes, I definitely like using him for cream contour because he is a rounder shape, so it kind of helps keep the product where I want it to stay. Whereas Patrick is either like super flat and super big on his butt or very flat and pointy on his head. This is nice and circular and round. Since these sponges are a little bit less porous of a sponge, like you know how like some sponges are like very, very airy and you can see like a lot of holes on it. This is not as much so. So you want to make sure that these don't have a lot of water in them. You want them to be damp, but you don't want them to be too soaking wet because it can mess up the layers underneath your foundation. That's just a little tip of mine because in the beginning it was like super, super wet and I had to dry it off a lot and it was just messing up my foundation underneath. So now moving on to some cream blush. I'm using the Bear With Me Luminous Blush Serum. This is by NYX Cosmetics. I did a little review on this not too long ago if you want to check it out. And I actually noticed that Spongebob has this rounded edge on him. This is the only kind of curved edge. The rest of him is very square. And so since this is kind of like a rectangle round edge, I'm going to try using this for my blush. Okay, so no, I can't use a sponge for that product because it just soaks right in. So I'm going to use my typical brush that I do for these type of blushes. And last step for my base, I'm going to set everything. It is super dry outside and super hot, so I'm not going to do a lot. But I'm going to take Spongebob with a little bit of Laura Mercier setting powder and bake right underneath. He has a very sharp edge, so it is very good for baking. I literally just said I wasn't going to do a lot, and then I just did this. And I'm going to use the shorter side and bake the corner of my nose. So while I'm baking, I'll go ahead and tell you that each sponge is $6. Which is pretty good considering it's a limited edition collection. And the sponges are very nice quality and they're freaking SpongeBob themed sponges. So $6 gets you this for forever, so I think that's pretty good. Also, while I'm baking, I wanted to show you the next product in the collection, which is this bad guy right here. It is Spongebob's Pineapple House. This is a sponge, so it's basically just a little rubber container that you can put your sponges into and let them sit on your table and let them dry because it has little holes in it, just to keep them clean while they are drying. I think this is super cute and innovative because you wouldn't really think that there would be a sponge holder in a collection, but I really like this. And this retails for $6 as well. Okay, moving on, we have two kabuki style brushes. One is Sandy Cheeks and one is Spongebob. Let's open these up. So both of these brushes are made with synthetic fibers, so they are super soft. They are very densely packed and they're both kabuki style, as you can see. This reminds me, if you've been watching makeup videos forever, this reminds me of the NARS like contour brush that everybody used back in the day. I never got to try it, but it is so soft and really good for contour. Each of the brushes retail for $9, which I think is a decent price considering look at how cute they are. So I'm going to go ahead and use Sandy Cheeks to rub off my bake and also probably to apply some blush. So I'm just going to buff this out. It is super soft, so it's not disrupting my base at all. So I don't really need any extra contour or bronzer on my cheeks, but considering this is basically made for that, I'm going to add a little bit of Hoola bronzer just on the hollow points. So this is super nice for my jawline because it's really sharp and it is very soft. I would say that this feels a little bit softer than the Sandy one, but they're both very nice. Moving on to a little bit of blush on top of my cream blush. I'm going in with some Laura Mercier. This is like a peachy blush. And I'm taking the same Kabuki Sandy Cheeks brush. And I'm just going to see how this applies. I usually use like a flatter type of brush to apply this, but... So I can't even really tell if that added any color, but this is not my favorite brush for blush by any means. I would like this for some bronzer or buffing out your bake or things like that. But for any type of like precision type of work, I wouldn't recommend it just because it's too round. Okay, for the next product in the collection, we are getting down to the last few. We have a highlighter that is way too yellow for my skin. It is a bright golden highlighter. Look at how shiny that is. But not in the light. It is very warm, very golden. Obviously, it's like yellow, like SpongeBob. So that is what it looks like. Now I know the formula of Wet n Wild highlighters is actually really good, so I'm not concerned about that. But I am concerned about the color. I don't think that I can wear this as a highlighter. This highlighter retails for $6, which is pretty good. The packaging is just like a normal drugstore packaging. My only thing with this highlighter is because it is so yellow, I'm not going to be able to wear this as a highlighter. If you have a darker complexion, I think that this would be stunning on you. But because I have lighter complexion, this is just going to show up way too yellow. I would use this as a eyeshadow topper, probably. But I do kind of wish that either they came out with a couple different shades, or they did attempt at a more universal shade, so it's just a tiny bit lighter so that it can work with darker complexion and lighter complexion. But yes, it is very pretty. It's very pigmented. I'll do one more swatch for you, just so you can see. So it is very gorgeous and very reflective. It's just, in the dark, it's just not going to work on me. So maybe I'll use that on my lid, but that is the highlighter. And now moving on to the next product, they also launched a purifying setting mist. So this is basically like the priming spray, but this is a setting spray. looks like this. This is called the FUN, or Fun Setting Spray. You better get that reference. Spray anywhere and anytime at all. Down here in the deep blue sea. Okay, so I'm just going to set my face. And my face feels nice and fresh. And that setting spray, just like the priming mist, also retails for $9. And last but not least, we have the gorgeous eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like here. It is an 18 pan eyeshadow palette, and the colors are so stunning. It also says that 5 of them are pigments and they're not to be used on the eyes. From what I know, that's just because it can stain your eyes. It's not gonna cause any damage to your eyeballs, so I'm probably gonna ignore that. But if you have sensitivities to your eyes or you don't like staining, make sure to avoid those 5 shades. It says on the back which shades they are. So I'm going to swatch this entire palette for you really quick so you can see all the shades and formulas, and then I will be right back to do a little eye tutorial. So starting from the top row on the left hand side, we have the shade Mayonnaise, which is a light white matte shade. Then we have One Eternity Later, which is also a matte shade. It's a good transition shade. Then we have this gorgeous white shimmer. It is called Tartar Sauce. Then we have this very interesting shimmer shade. It has like speckles of a different type of shade in it. It is called Shady Shoals. Next we have a dark blue shimmer shade. It's called Bikini Bottom. And then this last stunning shimmer glittery shade called Aye Aye Captain. So that is the first row in the palette. Moving on to the second row, we have the name Sea Star, which is a matte peachy corally shade. Next we have the shade Best Day Ever, which is a shimmery green shade. Then we have Square Pants, of course. This is a dark golden shimmer shade. Then Pretty Patty, which is a bright orange pigment. Sea Star is also a pigment, by the way. Then we have another pigment. Then we have another pigment called Jellyfish Jam. It's like a purpley shimmer shade. Then we have a more cool-toned purple shade called Gare Bear. That one is also a pigment. And that is the second row of the palette. Next we have the shade Howdy Y'all, and this is a little bit darker than the very first shade in the palette, but it is a matte transition shade. Then we have Me Money, which is a dark green shimmer shade. Then we have Order Up, which is a glitter. It's like a gorgeous golden glitter. Then we have a more pinky purpley glitter called Absorb the Love. We have Load of Barnacles, which is a shimmer shade. And last but not least, we have the last pigment in the palette. It's called Secret Formula. It is a dark navy matte shade. And that is the final row in the palette. Every single shade is gorgeous and unique, and I love every single one. Okay, so I just primed my eyelids using my e.l.f. concealer as usual, just to give it a good tacky base. And I'm just going to do kind of a simple eye look using quite a few of the different shades just to show you the formula and the blend on my actual eyelid. So first I'm going into the shade One Eternity Later. That is this nice light brown transition shade. And I'm going to buff that all into my crease. Oh, it's very pigmented. So this shade is very blendable and it is actually more pigmented than I thought it would be. So I kind of want to do like a warm type of smoky eye with a glittery lid. So I'm going into the orange shade in the palette here. This one is called Pretty Patty. And I'm blending that lower into my crease. This is one of the shades that says it's a pigment and not to use around the eyes, but I'm not listening to that. I actually noticed that a lot of eyeshadow palettes have pigments that are not supposed to be used on the eyes, but nobody listens to those. The shade is also very pigmented and pretty. And now that I have that orange shade blended out, I'm going into the darkest shade in the formula, I read Secret Formula and I read Formula. Try again. And now that I have the orange blended in, I'm going into the darkest shade in the palette. It's this dark navy blue, and it is called Secret Formula. And I'm going to blend this in the outer corner. This is also another shade that's technically a pigment, so it should be very pigmented. And let's see. Blending very nicely. I think that looks so pretty. It blended out really nicely. I'm just packing a little bit in the outer corner, blending about halfway. And I also blended that dark shade like about halfway towards my top lash line. I haven't done like a darker type of smoky eye in a while, so I think this is very fun. And then I'm basically just going to copy the top of my eye on my lower lash line. So I'm going in with that orange all over and then the dark blue on the outer corner. This orange shade is very, very nice. And then I'm just buffing out that orange shade with the One Eternity Later. So I just finished blending out all of the matte shades all over, and I am really, really impressed with the formula. It blended out really nicely, and it is actually quite pigmented. So this palette so far is very nice. So now I just have to pick out a lid shade, which is going to be a little bit difficult because there are so many gorgeous ones. My eyes keep going to this shade right here though, because it is just so blinding, and the shade kind of matches my dress. That one is called Aye Aye Captain. And then maybe I can blend a little bit of the darker blue towards the dark blue matte shade. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just taking a little bit on my finger. It feels very soft and creamy. There it is on my finger. Let's see how this applies. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. I didn't think it was gonna be that pigmented. This shade is so stunning, I'm dying. And then like I said, I'm taking a little bit of the sparkly dark blue, the shade right next to it. That one is called Bikini Bottom. And I'm gonna blend that right next to it to kind of blend that together. So I have glitter like all over under here, and it's not wiping off, but I'm not even mad at it because it kind of goes with the look. If you are using eyeshadow that is sparkly or shiny at all, it's kind of obvious that you're supposed to do it before your base makeup. I didn't do that today for some reason, so it's my fault, but I am very glittery. Now for the last step, I'm going to take this bright, shiny, white shimmery shade here. That one is called Tartar Sauce. And I'm gonna highlight my brow bone a little bit with that. Oh yeah. They're so shiny and pigmented, and I'm just adding a little bit on my inner corner as well. So that is the finished eyeshadow on one eye, and I'm obsessed. So I'm just gonna go finish the rest of my eye makeup off camera, and I will be right back.
2 hours later.
So I'm actually back with the rest of my makeup done because there were no other makeup products in the collection. So this is the final look. What do we think? I'm obsessed with how the eyes look, and I threw on some nice big lashes and some lip liner. And I really, really like the eyeshadow. This Nautical Nonsense eyeshadow palette is super, super pretty, and I'm definitely going to reach for this a lot. The formulas are really nice, and there are a lot of shades that I want to try out next time. So I'm going to go over the last two products in the collection, and then I will kind of give you a summary of everything and tell you my overall thoughts. So the last two products in the collection are cleansing products. This is a little Krabby Patty cleansing pad type of thingy. To clean brushes and sponges, and this is a soap to clean your brushes and sponges. I'm not going to demonstrate it in this video, but maybe I can do a little story on my Instagram. These cleansing pads retail for $9. It comes in a little Krabby Patty little thingy. There's no tomato or pickles in the shape of a happy face, so it's not a full Krabby Patty, but it is the start of one at least. Each layer has little bumps on it that you can rub a brush or sponge on it to clean it. So this is the bun. This is what the lettuce looks like, so you can see how it's all bumpy. This is the secret formula patty, and this is the bottom bun. So each layer has a different type of pattern for each brush or sponge that you're looking to clean. So I really, really like this. I think it's super innovative and cute, and I will definitely test it out. I may do a little story on my Instagram using this, so if you're interested, go follow me. $9. This is super cute. It's a freaking Krabby Patty, well, most of one, and yeah. So this is the soap bar. It looks like this. It has Gary on the front, and it's called Snail Soap Suds. And it's basically just a round bar of soap, like it literally will just come out like this. And that's basically all it is. It's just a bar of soap specifically for your brushes and sponges. So all you do is wet your brush or sponge, put a little bit on there, and then scrub it using some of the layers of the Krabby Patty, and your brushes and sponges are all clean, which I need to do because it's been way too long. And yeah, that is the last product. For some reason, the eyeshadow and bar of soap aren't on the card, so I'm going to tell you what they are now. The brush cleaning soap is $6. The eyeshadow palette is, drumroll please. So the eyeshadow palette is actually sold out on the website, so I can't even find the price. It's probably 20 something is what I'm guessing. I also saw on the comments on the Wet n Wild Instagram that you can actually get the full PR box, and a lot of people are saying it's around $50 to $60 in the US, which I think is super cool, and I would highly recommend getting the whole PR box because I'm probably going to put this up in my room because look at how cute this is. So that was the entire Spongebob collection by Wet n Wild. I am completely obsessed with, I'm pretty sure, everything. I'm going to test out the soap and let you know on my Instagram, but other than that, I am obsessed with everything. I think everything is so cute, so innovative, and the formulas of the products are really nice. The sponges are very soft and squishy. The brushes are extremely soft and synthetic. Everything is vegan and cruelty free, which is also really cool. I think the kabuki style brushes are very different and cool, and then this one just gives me memories from the NARS brush. So I really like that. I already have the Spongebob sponge drying in his little pineapple house, so I am obsessed with that. That is staying on my desk. If you are only able to get one makeup sponge, I would highly recommend getting the Patrick one. The pointed top is just so nice and it's very versatile for many things that you want to blend out on your face. It was perfect for my under eye concealer, and the back I used a lot all over my face. It just blended out really nice and it's so cute. Overall, highly recommend. If you can get your hands on the full PR box, I highly recommend doing so because this is a limited edition collection, which means it's not going to be around forever. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. Also hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I post a new video. Let me know down below in the comments as well if you've tried anything or if you want to try anything so we can chat about it and I can give you personalized recommendations if you're interested. Make sure to follow me on all my social medias. It is Jessa Marie Astrid on Instagram and Jessa Astrid on TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter, and basically everywhere else. And you can also text me on my personal number. It is 323-208-0782. I will put it right here. That is where I can just kind of chat with you guys and send you updates on my content and my future posts. I've been sitting here for probably about 4 hours now and it is so hot. So I'm gonna go wash off my makeup and get in bed. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. If you made it to the end, comment pineapple so I know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, more than you know, and I will see you very soon.